Jumbo, fellow adventurers, thoughts become things. Glad you're here for another spiritual tune-up. Thanks for all the great comments. Thanks for all the great questions. I read what you post below on Facebook and Instagram every morning to decide what that day's talking point is going to be. So please give me your best. Don't hold back. Anything is a candidate. The weirder, the wackier, the better. Today's question from you is one I think that has relevance to every single human being. How to differentiate between instinct and ego. I've got 2 steps for you. Now I know this pertains to you. Okay, the questioner continues. When you have a decision to make, how can you know if your egoic mind, fear, is getting in the way of you making a leap, or if it's your intuition, your guides, your angels, your higher self telling you it isn't right for you now? For example, you're moving towards that new relationship, and suddenly you have this inner warning, no, no, no. Is that your feared inadequacy showing up again, telling you you're not good enough, that this person's going to leave you and break your heart? Or is it intuition telling you that this is just not going to be a compatible relationship and there's somebody way better right around the corner? It could be a job that you're looking for. It could be a business that you're starting. Almost always there's fear involved. Okay? Well, I've got some really great news for you. First, this boils down to the absolute art of life. You're not alone. Everyone has this crock to wrestle. Okay, everyone. So it's not like everyone's got it figured out except for you. Everyone is learning how to interpret their inner feelings. That's the name of the game. You can figure that out. Go straight to go and collect $2 million. It's easy peasy when you know it's your true gut instinct. But how do you know? As I said yesterday, we all have a built-in truth barometer. Okay, and that's going to help you a lot. But that truth barometer is brand new. It's rarely been used. You haven't even read the instruction manual. Not that you have to read a manual, but here are my 2 steps for helping you with the art of life, learning to follow your intuitions and realize when you should pay attention and when it's just fear talking its little head off. First of all, this may not fall under the caption of very spiritual, although it can be. It depends on how you use it. Get a little bit logical. Just look at what's going on. Look at what you're dealing with. Does this seem like fear? Is it irrational? Or does it make some sense based on your entire composition and all of your life experiences? Here's a tiny example from my life. Suddenly, at the age of about 28 years old, long ago, after having flown around the world several times on every imaginable high-quality, low-quality airline, I am about 7 miles above Kansas City, Missouri, on Delta Airlines. And we hit turbulence, and I was gripped with this horrific fear, like white knuckle, no blood in my face. Like I don't know what happened. To this day, I don't know what happened. And ever since that time, for many years, I was terrified to get on a plane. Now, is it my inner instincts telling me that that next one's going down? Or is it an irrational fear, perhaps from an earlier lifetime or something unknown in this lifetime? Given what I've just shared with you, that I was able to fly on all these other flights, that flying is the safest way to go. Statistically, get a little logical, flying is the safest way to travel. I was able to see that this was a really crazy, totally irrational fear. Okay. Now, compare that to the person who's utterly fearless and for no reason on the way to the airport or at the airport, they have this deep feeling of don't get on that plane. I mean, deep, deep, deep. That person might book the next flight. But the person who's wrangling with this clearly irrational fear, get on the dang plane and get over it, get past it. Getting a little bit logical, putting the whole thing into context makes sense. If you have been dogged by fear in relationships or in other enterprises and it starts showing up again, 99.9% chance it's irrational and you need to feel the fear and do it anyway. But if you've been fearless in a particular area or arena, and suddenly, without any explanation, for no telltale reason, you've got this brand new feeling, go slowly. Make haste slowly. Maybe delay it by one date. Give yourself some time. Do some research. Google the guy on the internet. Make haste slowly. You don't have to say all or nothing, as you do with a flight, perhaps. But by getting a little logical, you can quickly discern the likelihood of true fear sparked by an inner gut instinct versus irrational fear. And generally, when all else fails, as a note from the universe once said, fear usually means you're in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. Keep on going. You got lots to learn. Okay? The second thing, and I shared this just a few weeks ago in a spiritual tune-up, the second step that will help you differentiate between intuition and ego is to practice. Okay? This is a brand new muscle, a brand new toy in the box. You haven't read the instructions. Practice with the little things. Don't tune out your inner senses until you have a life or death situation. Literally cultivate intuition and ask for every small purchase. Ask for every phone call before you make it. Ask about the clothes you decide to wear that day. Go within and have a non-stop communion with your higher self, your greater self, which is just yourself. Does this make sense? Does this feel good? Okay? Practice, cultivate it, develop it. When things get really prickly, get a little logical. Sometimes getting a little bit logical is the most spiritual thing you can do. Sometimes. Okay, thanks so much for letting me do these things. Post your questions below. Check out the link below. Swipe up on Instagram to join me for a little lucid dreaming adventure kicking off April 13th. 21 videos, 21 days in a row, 4 workshops, questions and answers, tips, techniques about recurring dreams, waking up in your dreams and continuing the dream, and lots of other juicy stuff. So, tally-ho, amigos. Have an awesome Wednesday, the best of your life so far. Thank you, Dan, Diana, Nelson, Claire on Facebook, Life Coach Martinez, Lori, Mariella on Instagram. Hasta la mañana.